Sunday in Monza, home of the Italian Grand Prix. In fourth place on the grid is McLaren's star driver, Ayrton Senna. As the start approaches, Giorgio Ascanelli, his race engineer, gives him some last-minute data.
What do you think? 1 PSI the rear and 7.4 the front?
This will be the 155th Grand Prix of Ayrton's brilliant career. He's won a quarter of them. He's been world champion 3 times and holds a record 61 pole positions. But he's found this, his 6th year with McLaren, difficult and frustrating. He's rarely been happy with this year's car because it's less powerful than the Williams. So he's been hard to motivate. In fact, he very nearly didn't drive this season. But Ron Dennis knows better than anyone the value of Ayrton's talent and worked long and hard to keep him in the team.
He is fearless, he is highly talented, but he's also highly intelligent. I mean, on the upside, that makes him probably the best all-round driver that's ever existed. On the downside, it makes life very difficult when you get into contract negotiation time, because he's every bit a match for me when it comes to negotiating.
The race at Monza, like every Grand Prix, really began 3 days ago, when drivers and team arrived for practice and qualifying. Thursday, Ayrton Senna flies into Milan in his own private jet. The rewards for a top driver in Formula One can be enormous. For Senna, they're staggering. This season, his fee for driving is reputed to be $1 million a race. Racing, with his other related businesses, earns Senna an estimated $25 million a year. Ayrton is hanging on at the airport for Ron Dennis.
What time is Ron arriving?
No one else would dare keep him waiting. They'll go on together to the hotel.
Half an hour.
But no helicopter for sure, huh?
No, we've got a car coming to wait outside.
To pick him up.
Both of you up.
Yeah, okay.
Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good, and you?
Ron's close friendship with his mercurial driver was forged over 5 successful seasons.
We just drive together.
Yeah, of course. I'm a passenger.
Righty-ho.
This year it's been put to the test. It wasn't until mid-season that Senna's contract was finally signed, and only after nail-biting negotiations.
It was really an odd situation that the team wasn't ready. Neither I was ready to compromise much more than so much, you know. So we had to go hard and we had to fight.
At one stage, he was sort of in his car on the car phone, you know, with like, I'm just 20 minutes from the airport, you know, this sort of brinkmanship. Of course, he's probably sat in the departure lounge all the time winding me up, but you know, you pay attention in those circumstances.
As a matter of fact, I said, forget it, it's over, I'm not coming.
We're tough guys and we're prepared to break each other, but we both appreciate that once broken, the relationship would be extremely difficult to put back together.
It was an experience that I never had before in my whole career. And so, however, from that experience, I promised myself, this is the last one, I will never do it again, you know.
But I think after the signature goes on the paper, there is an overwhelming feeling from both of us that we've exerted and used a great deal of energy just to arrive at a point which we could have easily arrived at earlier if we'd just been a bit more give and take. But that's not the sort of people that we are, and therefore the negotiation is always hard fought.
Senna heads off to the hotel. Waiting at Monza's rain-swept track is Giorgio, his engineer.
I noticed the weather, so I very much doubt Ayrton will come here. He's arriving at 4 o'clock at Linate, and he was coming with Ron in a helicopter, but the helicopter hasn't left Cannes, so I think the chances of coming here probably...
Right.
I think it goes straight to the hotel.
Yes.
Giorgio would have liked his driver to visit the circuit.
It may add a little bit of frustration, if you wish, but it's not really easier or more difficult. I'm here to do the job and doing the best with what I've got. If I haven't got a driver on Thursday, I will do without him. It's not a problem.
Friday morning, the first day of practice. Ayrton's fans are already out in force.
Hai ragione, ma ci hanno detto così.
Ordine no, tra la vettura,
No,
non posso scendere lì.
No, infatti, ho fatto... È il più grande di tutti i tempi.
His immediate task is to get a briefing from Giorgio on the results of the recent car testing at Imola. Ayrton wasn't at the test. In fact, for most of this season, Ayrton has been reluctant to go testing.
2 Imola tests. Engine. We have had available to us a package of a new fuel and a new oil, a low friction oil. The advantage on the fuel is about 0.3% on power, and on the oil is 0.4%. The total amounts builds up to about 5-6 horsepower. There is no problem of drivability, there is no problem of fuel meters so far. Lately is not on the top of his motivation. A driver like Ayrton Senna with 60 pole positions, 37 Grand Prix, 3 World Championship, doesn't fight for the 4th place. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all, really. Vice versa. I knew him in better days. Right at the beginning of the season when he could smell the victory. Then he's demanding, he's pushing, he's interested, he wants to check out every detail. So thorough. Now he's a little bit different.
First practice. There are 23 laps this morning to set up the car. This is the start of 2 days' intense dialogue between driver and engineer, as Ayrton reports back about the car's performance on the track.
Not second to first to neutral. Not very nice. I think lost the track.
Most of the lap advantage that you can get from a driver is the fact that he is try something new which he can trust and he knows how to dominate. At the end of the day, I don't believe drivers like to trust modifications which have been issued under the comments of any other drivers, and Ayrton particularly. Ayrton is so thorough and so careful that any job you do, he's struggling to accept it straight ahead, which means effectively the first time on the session you are spending time to show him what we've done and what kind of benefit he can get out of it. If there is nothing else on software-wise which you would like to try, I will load the program in.
I will have low drag, or I don't have it all, or I don't have it and I have to do myself, right?
You have auto low drag enabled as you've done the last run. Therefore, if you build up confidence and you want to call for low drag before, just out of the Curva Grande, you are allowed to do it. I have not given you anything in gearbox function 4.
So I don't have, I will have...
Ayrton's teammate, American Michael Andretti, is racing for the first time at Monza, but it's Ayrton's 10th Italian Grand Prix, so he knows the circuit well. At the end of the first day's qualifying, Ayrton is 4th quickest. Now, if Ayrton is to go faster, Giorgio needs all the information he can get from his driver.
I can do better, but I'm running. Keep running. I can do better. Half a second.
How is it?
Oh, it's not too bad.
Too much downforce then?
Huh?
Too much downforce yet? And you ran the curbs, I didn't see you.
On the chicane only, the chicane.
Can you do it? Is it upset?
No, you can do it.
Takes away.
No, it's okay.
I'm not extremely psychologist myself. I think I'm Latin, and he's Latin, and therefore we can establish a little bit of a better contact. My work is to stay around him most of the time if he and grabbing information as quick as I can without pushing the issue too much and without upsetting him. I don't know how you can handle it.
Okay, so
Do you want me to drive there and wait for them, or do you want me to stay there and get the map as quick as I can?
And the map.
Okay. Ayrton, anything mechanical I should know.
Just we're too hot. A little
yes.
bit. We can open it still,
Yes,
so it should be
completely.
okay. Because it's front to rear balance only, so we open the front to get better balance. The rear, it's okay.
In the world of Grand Prix, his exceptional talent and a ruthless determination to exploit it have made Ayrton a superstar. He knows what he's worth and will accept nothing less, whatever its cost to others.
In the modern Formula One, there is so much in stake between the teams and the organizers and the sponsors. It also all relates to drivers. If a driver corresponds to all the expectations, he gotta have in return a similar level of return. Otherwise, he's not doing it right. He's giving away something.
Oh, we normally talk in units of $1 million. I think that's pretty serious money.
At the end, you get paid what you're worth. You know, if you get paid $1 or $1 million, it's because it's what you can offer back. The only place is less of a problem is into Parabolica and into the first chicane on the braking, right?
Yeah, the worst is here.
The worst is the second chicane and into the third chicane. But it's because the asphalt goes like this, in the third chicane and it's like this. In the second chicane is you're coming bumpy, and then it's like you go against the ground basically, and the car is really down. You get low grip. It's tough.
The day's practice may be over, but for the drivers, there's still work to do. Tonight, the drivers have to be on parade for the sponsors and their guests.
Ufficiali Ayrton Senna e Michael Andretti.
Monza is a traditional time to think about the future. What is on everyone's mind is whether Senna will be with McLaren next year.
Next year.
Wait. It seems that every year comes this time of the year is always. How are you? Okay. That look What's happening? It's not the most pleasant part of my profession, but nowadays, professional racing driver is not only driving. There are a lot of other things you have to do, whether you like or not, in order that you can deliver the needs and the requests that the team personnel and team sponsors and fans and media and so on. Particularly if you are successful, therefore there is more of a pressure, more of a request for you to correspond. Yeah, well, I think I will go to bed early and she will go with me. That's a better way. And I'm not the only one happy about it. I'm sure she's also happy about it.
Oh.
That's much better. Now you look at the impeccable uniform.
Bye. Good luck.
Saturday practice starts as always with another briefing. Giorgio is armed with yesterday's and last year's data, though with today's damp track, it won't be easy to make useful comparisons.
No, you were going to fifth or fourth. Full tank.
That was full tank. And I don't think we will do that today. With a dry circuit, it is going to shift to fifth gear.
Okay.
And also the asphalt is different, Lasmo.
Yeah.
Much nicer, apparently. Looking in the wet is wet, you never know, but it looks much nicer. Probably quicker than last year.
Vai da solo?
This morning's first challenge is how to cope with the conditions on the circuit.
I think that the best we can do is trying to go out as late as we can. Unfortunately, everybody else is having the same idea. And as you can see, the Italian public is really disappointed by the fact that there are no tracks on the circuit. The circuit is open since 12 minutes ago.
You know, it depends if we get properly dry in the afternoon, then it will make some difference. Otherwise, for today, we'll make no change at the front of the grid because the circuit is slower than yesterday. And unless it gets properly dry, no one will make good time in the afternoon in order to change the grid for Sunday. So, I have to wait.
Senna is right. In the damp second morning practice, no drivers better their times. But even in this weather, neither driver nor engineer relax in their effort to improve the car.
It's no good to be nice, you know, and to take it easy, because if you're going to be nice and take it easy, you might as well do something else, not in Formula One. Stay home or have a more ordinary profession. So being a competitive environment and a very tough one to live with, you have to be tough, you have to be hard. Sometimes it could be a little too hard, but better to be on the harder side than on the easy one.
Exit 1 mil down. From mid, exit 1 mil down. We are going stiffer on the rear now, right? After the turning, or we bring the front down.
His mental strength is just unbelievable. If he applies it, he's the most demanding person I've ever worked with. The others are not able to keep a very high level of concentration at the maximum limit for so long, like Ayrton does.
It's final qualifying. Try as he may, Ayrton cannot improve on fourth position. As usual this season, his McLaren is not as fast on the straights as the Williams. It adds to his frustration. He also misjudges the number of laps he's done and comes in one too early.
Not that it makes a difference.
Did I have one more lap or not?
No, you didn't. This was your last lap. You should have gone through. And not that it makes a difference, because you wouldn't have a difference. You wouldn't. I don't know if you could do a 22-0. I don't believe so.
Maybe not.
Fine.
Maybe yes.
Yes.
Because I back off to get some time.
And not that it matters. But from now on, I'm calling you the numbers of laps to go as you cross the finish line. I am calling you on the radio. Right?
You got the message on the radio.
I did, and I came last lap.
No problem.
What, balls? You feel it? Or was it just coming down in?
Slow lap, because I tried to bring down,
and then go.
Then go.
So.
It's tough. I think when you are chasing to prove to yourself that you can win races or you can win championships is one thing. Once you manage to do that and therefore you know you can, and you know how to do it, you know the way, and you know it's what it takes. To then be faced with a situation when you can't do it is really tough, especially when you know you are in a good team that has got the resources and know how to do it well, even better than you because they did more times than you. It's tough to take it.
Sunday, race day. First stop, another briefing. This one starts with questions about fuel.
I think that we can run safely 4% leaner for the engine. And I think that the temperature is going to go up. Therefore, you will have another 2% less. So I put 130 kilograms in the car. We'll see the figures after full tank, and then we'll think about what we want to do.
What?
And then you'll think about what you want to do.
How much you put in?
130.
An unscheduled visitor interrupts the discussion. It's former teammate Gerhard Berger, a driver with a more relaxed view of pre-race briefings.
Nice to meet you. You're Sophie. Patricia.
You got about the car?
Yeah. Phone me.
Okay.
From wherever you're testing, and then we try to work out.
Yeah. But if you remember, just Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
It's not long before Ayrton's 155th Grand Prix. Now, all his concentration is on the task ahead.
You gotta have good awareness of the danger you are all the time, the risks you are exposed to. That's the only way for you to stay healthy in this activity, because otherwise you will inevitably find a bad day, you know. So naturally, as the time goes by, the more experience you get, the more learning you do, the better judgment you have over critical situations. And therefore you know when you can go a little bit over the limit because you can and it's worth doing it anyway. And when you shouldn't because it's not worth, or you just shouldn't because you won't get around it. So, you know, every time before I go into the car, I fear very much my health or my life. You know, I know I have a well-built car, well-prepared by the mechanics, everything, but I'm using it to certain conditions that not always the car is capable of coping. And I know I can die, or I can have a tremendous impact in my future life. Therefore, it's a critical thing. It's an attractive situation because it is so much question mark into it, and you gotta use your instinct together with your experience, together with your desire to do it at a given moment. You know, it's a mixture of feelings that you have to play together. Basically, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You get the right mixture, the right taste. And so it's a challenging thing to do, but at the same time, you gotta be well aware of the danger you're exposed to. Otherwise, you won't get through the end of your career. I'm alert all the time, very aware of those places and the implications. So I am sharp. You gotta be sharp. You can't be indecisive. You have to be spot on. And it's something that the consequence is your life. Therefore, there is no compromise.
It's a dramatic start for Ayrton. On the first bend, he tangles with Hills Williams. Over the years, Ayrton's aggressive style on the track has intimidated many. His driving is as uncompromising as everything else about him. Fellow Brazilian Nelson Piquet even called him the Sao Paulo taxi driver. On this occasion, he's come off worse and dropped from 4th to 10th place. Over the next few laps, he works his way up to 8th, behind Martin Brundle's Ligier. Then on lap 9, he makes a rare mistake. It's the end of Senna's already slim chance of the championship.
The most difficult I have continuously is just incredible desire to win and to do my real best, and that is as strong as today as it was 10 years ago when I started Formula 1. And the difference only from 10 years ago is that I know today I can do it because I have done. I won 3 championships with McLaren, many races, being very competitive in all kinds of situations that you could be in. So I know that I can do it as a matter of results, knowing sometimes that you just cannot do it because it's outside your control for technical reasons or whatever is really tough. Well, I don't think so. I think it was simply that I didn't have enough ability to stop the car. Okay. Huh? Good luck. Yeah, that's fine.
Monte Carlo, one of the most expensive pieces of real estate in Europe. So it's an appropriate location to stage one of the most expensive activities in the world of sport, a Grand Prix. It will cost a team at least £10 million a year just to take part in the Formula One World Championship. To be successful will cost 3 or 4 times that. Everything to do with Formula One has a large price tag. A set of tyres costs £1,300. £100,000 for an engine, $750,000 to build a car. And that's before you count the cost of the drivers. To pay this massive bill, motor racing has turned itself into one gigantic billboard. The name of the game is a name on the car. In Formula One, sponsorship rules. Down the years, McLaren's marketing arm has found and indeed kept a group of major companies to sponsor its team.
We tend not to call them sponsors because that insinuates an act, a gratuitous act almost, a charitable act. We see them as partners or investors. They're making an investment. We believe we can deliver a significant return on that investment.
Very interesting how contrast with Senna sitting quietly removed from the world in his car.
Every driver has his own little way of getting in the car. Gerhard, our driver last year, would just get out of the car straight away and sit over by the wall or the...
Did the others know that he hasn't got into his car yet?
No, they wouldn't know, but I mean, they really are doing their own thing. You saw the way the engine was looking. I mean, nobody else exists.
McLaren has a different way of selling Formula One. We do not sell it on the basis of what it costs to run a team. To a degree, that is irrelevant to Courtaulds or whoever. They are not buying 2 cars, 220 personnel. What they are buying is global media exposure. We know, for instance, that each race is watched by 502 million people around the globe. That represents 1 in 10 of the world's population. We know that last year the Formula One World Championship got in excess of 7,000 hours of Formula One coverage. We know that McLaren got 25.4% share of that exposure.
Sponsors are notoriously coy about how much they spend. But McLaren know what they expect to earn from the available spaces on the car. Their asking price to put a company name on the unsold space of this front wing would be around $5 million. What does a sponsor get for such money?
What I think we get out of it is identifying Courtaulds with high technology, internationalism, advanced products, and winning. Both our customers and our employees. 80% of our customers are outside the UK. Some 45 to 50% of our employees are outside the UK. Those people need to see Courtaulds as something that is at the leading edge and worth being part of. This is a game that attracts a lot of attention all the world over, and it's identified as high-tech. This is where I want Courtaulds to be.
We've now been involved in this for some 50-odd years, and we're in it primarily for 2 reasons. Firstly, it enables us to put our brand in front of a very large international audience. And secondly, it enables us to provide our operating companies with communication stories that they can use in their advertising programs. We can talk to something approaching 500 million people 16 times a year. So that's a huge international audience where we can try and increase the awareness of our brand.
Tobacco companies sponsor all the top teams. It's advertising that escapes government health warnings. Tobacco's involvement with this glamorous sport is increasingly under fire. Critics say it sends a subconscious message to the viewer. This year, tobacco advertising was banned or restricted at 3 races. How does Ron Dennis, a non-smoker, justify such sponsorship?
We are promoting a brand name. We're not promoting an act. If you choose to do something, whatever it is, skydive, drive a racing car, go skiing, drive without a seatbelt, all these things, I mean, they're legal in most places, and they constitute a simple human value, which is you are free to do what you want, and I think that's right. If people really genuinely feel that exposure to a brand name has some influence on them, then don't watch. I mean, have a choice. Turn the television off. I mean, I think that by and large people are watching the spectacle of the sport, and that's what they're enjoying.
With sponsors' money so crucial to the survival of the team, McLaren lavishes a lot of time and money looking after them. On average, they will entertain 300 guests at a Grand Prix and offer them what they call the Formula One experience.
Monaco is probably the most difficult place to get any guests, or anybody else, team members for that matter. So we're going to try and make your day a little easier by getting this boat across is a simple 2 or 3 minute journey. We get off at the back of the grandstand as we did this morning.
Great.
Okay, Steve?
Sounds good.
The most important thing we try to do for the guests when they come to the Grand Prix is basically trying to get them as close as possible to the action and as close as possible they can be to the team. A lot of people can go to a corporate event on their own, but we're trying to make them feel an integral part of the team and to make them part of the McLaren experience, as it were, to really capitalise on their involvement with the team.
Is that close enough for you?
Oh my God! Former racing driver Jonathan Palmer is the expert on hand.
They're going to be coming down the chicane, down out of that tunnel there. They're going to be hard on the brakes. They're going to be going down. They're going to be coming out of that tunnel at 170 miles an hour. They're going to be hard on the brakes as they come down the hill, right down to first gear, and then left, and then right, and then accelerating hard, first gear, second, third, fourth. They go through that corner at probably about 120 miles an hour. It's one of the fastest corners on the circuit, and to give you an idea of the acceleration of these things, you can actually time it, but they'll be doing 30 miles an hour to 140 in about 6 seconds, something like that down there.
There's an awful lot of competition out there, a lot of competition in the pit lane. We're going to make sure that we're one step ahead of the opposition, and that's the reason I think that the return on investment is perhaps better with us, we like to think so, than with any other competitive team.
The competition is just as keen between races. Back at McLaren's Woking headquarters, marketing chief Ekram Sami has a potential sponsor in his sights. He's keen to clinch a deal before the British Grand Prix.
I've done it. Yes? Good. Very warm welcome to McLaren. We've got some guests of ours from the Baluchi company, which is a leading Italian maker of sparkling wines. The chairman of that company is here, Franco Ziliani, and his other members of the organisation. And the objective is to take Baluchi the next step. They're currently an associate sponsor. That means effectively that we use their sparkling wine products in our VIP hospitality all over the world. They are also a contributor financially. And our objective is to try and take them the next step, and they go into really fairly serious financial contribution.
On the factory floor, there is another challenge. So far this season, the cars have lacked speed. So for this weekend's British Grand Prix at Silverstone, the team are fitting a newer and more powerful version of their Ford Cosworth engine.
It's talking every time, it's just not giving the flow. Yeah, right. Well, it's calling for the correct ejection time, same ejection time as all the others. So, firstly, let's have the boot off and have a look inside the town.
There is a Series 8.
Norman Howell is McLaren's press and PR man.
And it is...
As he gets the latest briefing on the engine from Ron Dennis, he knows what his challenge is this weekend.
What Benetton have been saying, and parts of Ford have been saying, is that, yes, we would get the Evolve engine at Silverstone, but they would get that extra spec. And that press release went around last week, as you know.
One of Norman's jobs is to get the team noticed. If the cars are winning, that isn't too difficult. But even with the new engine, the cars won't be as fast as the Williams. So at Silverstone, Norman is planning an unusual initiative to get additional media attention. Ekram's team is equally determined to get the attention of their Italian guests.
We're just changing the nose over now so we can show the Baluchi people how the car will appear with their identity on the car, and we're doing it right now whilst they're going around the factory.
All I can say is no way that I can say to you, Malcolm, we can do a one-to-one mail on Sunday, Malcolm Foley with Ayrton Senna before Silverstone. I doubt if you can do it there. If you can grab him, that's great. But I'm still not in a position to say I can deliver Senna.
Yes, it's good. Yeah, it's a nice definitive logo, and I think it stands out well. Yeah, I think you'll see for yourselves the reaction will be very positive.
We was very impressed by the...
Small surprise for you. Yes.
Silverstone, the British Grand Prix. Here, tobacco sponsorship on television is banned. McLaren gets to promote its own name. This weekend's marketing initiative will be used to help Manchester's bid for the Olympic Games.
What we've got set up so far is that Manchester 2000 have agreed to appear on our front wing. We have Sally Gunnell, where we're chasing Kenneth Clark, Chancellor of the Exchequer. We know he's coming anyway. We know the government has backed this bid by Manchester, so it's only right that we should go for him, and hopefully only right for them to support us.
Meanwhile, Ekram's bid to win over Baluki is reaching its climax. The would-be sponsors have been driven up to Silverstone to meet Ron Dennis.
We've had a good discussion in the car coming up, and really we need to just discuss with you the kind of terms that we've agreed in principle between us.
Ekram's sales pitch has worked. On the way up, he clinched the deal.
It's almost like...
Ekram and Norman would like to get as much exposure for the team as they can, but competition for coverage is fierce.
The Rain Man again, positioning him as the Rain Man. Senna needs worse to the weather if he's up to a central order. But that's nice, eh?
You see, what our problem still is we're not thought of as a British team.
Yeah.
Lotus are thought of as a British team, obviously.
Yeah.
Williams are, but mainly because of Mansell. Not Damon, but Nigel Mansell. And we're not. You know, we're something else. We're some sort of international hybrid.
Maybe this weekend's run with the Olympic logos
exactly.
will change.
This is a way of doing it, you know. We have spoken to the Manchester 2000 bid people, and we're carrying their logos on our car this weekend. Now, obviously, we would like to enhance it as much as possible. And through our own contacts, we heard that the Chancellor might be coming, and is coming, in fact, apparently. So we would like, if at all possible, to have his support for this initiative.
The surest way to get your team noticed is to win. But in recent races, McLaren's lack of speed has made this less likely. So the press will be interested to know if the new Cosworth engine has improved the car's performance. Norman finds out from the drivers.
Any problem with... what about the engine? Doesn't feel any different.
It's no good. I mean... same.
What about the engine? Does it feel different?
Yeah, of course it feels different. It drives more, and I think I have a little bit more mid-range. Silverstone, from the latest circuits we've been running, is a real circuit for a racing car. And I think if we didn't have the engine, we would be even further behind.
So not fantastic news, but as good as we can do, considering.
Could have been a lot worse.
Okay.
Business is business.
Business is business. Yes. Franco, you could sign here.
4 and...
First of many. This is the one we put some more notes on.
Cioè, ha fatto finire, dice, oh madonna, se firma quanto che vai.
Thank you very much. Welcome to McLaren.
Meanwhile, it's business as usual on the track.
George, what they've done with Baluki for the wing mirrors, they had a problem in getting them to the right, in getting them to the size and printing them out on the sticker machine and cutting them out. So what they've effectively done is given us transfers. Okay, model wheel JH in. And we'll get the approval, and then from that moment we can go with it. Last night, the final decals were made for 2 positions. One, which is the rear view mirrors on the car. The other is an alternative nose position. For the rear view mirrors, we don't hold the rights to that positioning on the car at present. So the process that we have to go through is a very clearly defined process. Put them on the car at the moment. Ron Dennis, our managing director, needs to sign them off. If he's happy with that and the balance of the branding, then we will get some senior representative from Philip Morris to give us a stamp of approval on them, and then we're up and running.
Hello, Malcolm. It's Norman Hull. What also happening tomorrow is that there will be Royals here. There's also the possibility, and I don't know if it would interest the Chancellor, that we will have road car here, McLaren's road car, which is still in a prototype stage. And we will put the Manchester 2000 stickers and logos on it. And we were wondering if the Chancellor would be interested in doing a lap of Silverstone in the car, with a driver, obviously.
Ex-IndyCar champion Michael Andretti has been an added problem for the team image. In his first 8 races in Formula One, he has crashed out 4 times. But because he has often tested the car here, at least he's familiar with this circuit. Michael's performance is not very encouraging. Team manager Dave Ryan is far from happy with this latest practice.
If you've looked at the times this morning, you'll see how slow we are. And I think we're 8th and 19th or something on the grid at the moment, which is unbelievably slow. I wouldn't say it was the engine. I think we've taken a serious step backwards on the car at the moment.
You know we have Sally Gunnell coming, the Olympic gold medal winner, to help us in Manchester 2000 with her husband. Obviously we promised them VIP treatment. Kenneth Clark, the situation with him is they don't know where he was, an hour ago this was. But basically they think he's sleeping, he's just lying there.
Well, it doesn't matter, just
I'm letting
it does happen.
In the event, McLaren's drivers end up 4th and 11th on the grid, so they will be hard-pressed to get into the points. For the men charged with projecting the team image, tomorrow is going to be uphill work.
About midday, we will unveil the Manchester 2000 logos in the front wing of the car. Depending on how we're positioned, we'd like you to be as near as possible to the front of the car, maybe half leaning down or something like that. So the picture has you and the Manchester 2000 logo.
Next stop, to get former world champion Jackie Stewart on side.
2 things. I would like, A, your help, which means possibly standing near our car at some stage and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that's what I'm putting it to you. B, is it possible that if you're taking some Royals round, you could also take them to our pit? This is,
I'll be doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which role is it? Is it Michael?
No.
It's higher than that. I know, everyone says
I can't tell you who it is because of security, because one of them's easy, but the other 2 are difficult.
Right. The thing is that we were caught out by Lady Di. We'd like to give some presents, some program. The kids are coming round too, aren't they?
Yeah, but that's a bad time to do it. It's better to get them over here because they're going from there somewhere else.
Good afternoon, everyone. As you know, it's British Grand Prix is our busiest Grand Prix. We have 150 guests here. The people over in the a lot of people in the pits supporting the cars, the Grand Prix team, obviously 55 people, and of course the most essential ingredient, the drivers. One of the drivers here, Ayrton Senna, well known to you. Just like to pass you over to Ayrton. It's an unrehearsed quick visit.
Joe Wingham, can you hear me?
Yes, he's on the line.
Do you have any idea where Sally Gunnell is? Because we've only got about 5 minutes left with the car, because then they're going to start working on the T-car. Here we are.
Sally, can I introduce you to Mika Häkkinen?
Hi, nice to meet you. Hello. Congratulations. Yeah, brilliant. You've done that before. Ah. It's very heavy. Really heavy.
Okay, yeah.
We're coming a little bit fine.
Okay.
Have we got a final decision on this?
We've just had the go-ahead. Yes.
Yeah?
Okay.
Oh, good.
Everything's good. A little bit pressured, 1 hour to go before the start of the race. Just got the okay on the Baluki decals, and so they're being applied to the car, as you can see. On the Manchester initiative, I think we got some good visibility from this morning. Missed out on the Royals, unfortunately, but another opportunity perhaps to catch them out on the grid.
It's less than an hour before the start of the British Grand Prix. McLaren's hopes of getting a result, with all the favourable publicity that will bring, depend to a large extent on this man, Ayrton Senna. What the public doesn't realise is that his contract has only just been signed. The start is minutes away. McLaren's marketing arm is still working hard to promote its team. Norman Howell has one more card to play.
So Norman Howell, Director of Communications at McLaren. We've got a message through to your office. We're running the Manchester 2000
Okay, right, sure.
And we would love just a few seconds. We have Sally Gunnell here who's supporting our bid.
Okay.
I was wondering if we could have you.
Okay, where do you want me?
Car here.
Okay.
I think it's a worthwhile thing to do, of course.
Okay. Now, what do you want me to do? Just stand by. How do you get me and the logo on the same shot? Do you want me to crouch down by it? All right.
Okay. I think we actually ought to think about taking it back now so she can have sight of the race.
Yeah. Okay. Before they close everything. Right, mission accomplished. Ciao, Ezio.
Hopes are high in the pits for a successful start, but for Andretti, they are soon dashed. There will be a press release at the end of the race, so Norman needs to know what happened.
They all went wide and I had to go wide, and I got in the loose spot.
The button or had the engine stop?
No, it's in. It was in enough that there was no way. But it was sorry. I mean, I just had a nice start. I thought we were really looking good.
I mean, nobody's fault.
While Senna continues to fight it out on the track, the team is in with a chance. After some early dueling at the front, Senna settles down among the leading cars. Then on the last lap, with at least a third place assured, disaster strikes. Senna's car slows down and stops. For both drivers, the race is over, but not for the marketing team. In fact, for Norman, the hardest part is still to come. He must face the press. First, he needs to find out what happened to Senna's car.
What happened?
Guess.
No.
Petrol.
It's a fuel pressure. What seems like half
the fuel pressure's dropped just before he stopped.
It seems a programming error caused the problem.
It tends to suggest that the cars run out of fuel.
And so to the last task of the day, the press release. It's time to find the silver lining in an otherwise gloomy day. After all, at McLaren, You never lose. You just don't always win.
We wanted to push Manchester 2000, and we managed to get that across. We had the new sponsor in Berlucchi, Italian wine makers, and we're in the car. We've tried a new engine. Works. We've got Senna on board. As you know, this was the weekend when he really signed. I don't think it's negative. And this is a team that, as you can see, everybody's calm. Nobody's holding their heads down, shame and horror.
From a business standpoint, actually a very successful day. We were entertaining a huge number of people in our VIP area today, over 250 people. And that's the opportunity for our partners to capitalize on this opportunity. That aside, the Berlucchi logos did go on the car, in fact, prior to the race. That was another success story in a sense. Ken Clark did come on the grid. We managed to get him there with Sally Gunnell, endorsing the Manchester 2000 bid. And all in all, I think from a marketing side, actually a fairly positive day.
To take part in Formula One, you first have to build a car. To have any chance of winning the championship, you will need space-age materials, state-of-the-art technology, and a room full of computers. McLaren has them all.
Everything on the car essentially is automatic. It's what we call fly-by-wire. There's no physical link between the driver and the rear of the car at all.
These are the governing body of motorsport say that you've got to have a car at a minimum weight, 505 kilos. And the penalties are very strict if you're underneath that weight.
This is the steering wheel they use. Basically it's all automatic, but this is how they change gear now, with these little paddles behind the steering wheel.
It's carbon fibre, but it's got a honeycomb infill, and that's built to withstand a fair degree of pressure.
The brakes we use now are carbon fibre. They're carbon fibre pads, carbon fibre discs. It's about $15,000 for one set of brakes as well.
Their engine management system and the electronic brain here controls suspension, throttles, and the gearbox changing.
We now have an active suspension system which keeps the car at the right attitude wherever it is on the circuit.
The System Atlas is our own system, actually designed and manufactured. It stands for Advanced Telemetry Linked Acquisition System.
Yes, what we see here on the screen is a collection of all the data we receive from the car, either by a telemetry link, which means by radio, or when the car comes into the pit. This is actually where the car is at this moment in time. We have displayed the gear selected by the driver or by the gearbox along the racetrack. This type of display allows us to evaluate whether the gears selected are exactly as you need to have optimized lap time. Another important screen throughout the race is that screen on the top, which is a so-called bar graph screen. What you have here is, like in a thermometer, different parameters displayed. And if they get critical, then they change the color. Here, as you see in one example, red, where the oil pressure is too low, or here blue, where the lap time was too long, and therefore something must have happened to the driver. What we see here is the red line is the engine rev. This light blue one is the speed of the car. The dark blue one is the acceleration to the side inside the car, lateral acceleration as we call it. The green one is the acceleration in direction of the driving. The white one is the position of the butterfly, whether the driver puts down the accelerator or not. And this pink one is the gear selected by the driver or by the gearbox.
To build cars like these requires a combination of research lab and factory. At Woking, McLaren has created both, and they're the envy of Formula One. The test rigs, the electronics, and the high-powered computing would do credit to the aerospace industry. Here they design and build a new car for the start of every season, and then spend the rest of the year working to improve its performance. As each new modification comes off the computer and out of the workshop, it is tried out on the track. McLaren tests a lot. This year alone, their 19-strong test team will spend 78 days evaluating everything from aerodynamic settings to software packages. Today, they're testing a new version of their Ford Cosworth engine.
All right. Can I have a feedback from the engine and gearbox gentleman to see if there is any tweaking and tuning on the engine to do? Or we still have another set of tires?
Rich?
Manager Dave Ryan explains the importance of this test.
We want to win races, we want to win the championship. So it's a pretty good car. The car can be better, and the engine can be better. We've got to try and squeeze every bit out of it we can.
Driving for the test team at Silverstone today are Michael Andretti and test driver Mika Hakkinen. Supervising the work on the new engine in Mika's car is race engineer Giorgio Ascanelli. He knows why he enjoys testing.
More technical involvement, I'd say. Technicality is more important than rapidity of operation. I mean, what you do in the race meeting is really looking after the change of the circuit, looking at what the opposition does, but really you are tuning the car to the needs of the moment more than doing some serious technical exercise. Testing is more enjoyable. It's harder work, and it can be pretty frustrating as today, but still I prefer testing.
Yeah, I mean, these two back here don't look like they're working, do they?
No.
Sorry, did you say?
Well, either we've got an irregular spread of mixture, or we're running with 4 cylinders.
The front two are bright red, and the back two are...
Well, it's a different shape, obviously. These ones are always going to glow earlier than the others, but I think we're missing 4 cylinders.
Testing in Formula One is an exacting business. So many things can affect a car's performance on the track that it's often hard to measure the impact of the modification that's being tested. Wind, weather, or a marginally changed setup to the car can all add seconds to a lap time, or even the performance of the driver. In this test session, a crisis of confidence seems to be affecting Mika Hakkinen.
At complex, you accelerate more and more.
The front washes
you
away.
go through the corner, more the rear end goes like this. The more it goes like this, it's finally, it snaps away, like the rear tire. Yeah.
So you've got the power understeer, and then in the middle of the understeer, all of a sudden the rear gives up and goes away from you.
Yeah,
and the car wants to swap ends.
That's right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So effectively, as you are scrubbing speed off and the front gets too positive in the entry of Beckett, you will have the front rider correcting and coming up a little bit to avoid the rear. Yeah?
Yeah. Keep thinking about it.
Okay, stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
Think to drive the car. Go quicker. Once we've done that, we do the weight at the end of the day.
Okay.
Yeah? I promise you, swear. 5 laps again, 5 time laps, you'll have the ball.
So far, the new engine doesn't seem to be performing as well as expected. Head of the test team, Pat Fry, thinks he spotted a problem.
Watching the car doing a start, the on and off the throttle, the car is jumping. Not much, I mean, 3 mil at the front, 4 or 5 mil at the rear. It's just strange. That's what it looked like anyway. I can't think of any scratch.
We shouldn't have any correction at 0 speed.
Okay, yeah.
Unless you've got a pressure problem, or unless...
Well, you can't have a pressure problem when you're revving your bollocks off it, can you?
Giorgio has to find answers to some difficult questions. What's the reason for the car's lack of performance? Is it the new engine? Or is it, as he increasingly suspects, the inexperience of the driver.
I just wouldn't like to have introduced a variable on the car which may sort of change the kind of judgment which we are giving to this experiment. If you do have a problem, if you think that you're losing time car-wise, you should tell so. The other thing is, Michael has just run at 22.8. I understand it's flat through bridge. I'm getting a comparison of the two laps.
I mean, the only big thing we've changed since yesterday is the nose assembly, isn't it?
Yep.
He's been losing nearly a second through the complex, hasn't he, to Michael?
I know. Are we saying that he's lost interest? Could be, huh?
Lap is same.
Well, looks like you're losing a lot under braking there.
And here,
Yes?
even I'm braking very hard, you can see it. Can't brake hard, it doesn't stop.
Okay.
Yeah. The second thing is, when I come to the complex, I lose in the back end very easily. Is it because the brakes, or is it because the wind? I believe the wind is not much different than yesterday.
Wait a second. We'll come back to this.
Okay.
And then you're coming through the straight, and you are exactly the same as yesterday.
Yeah.
So if I have to judge it, we've got a car problem, we haven't got an engine problem here. You say that the circuit is different yesterday from today. This is Michael's time. You are the back, Michael's is the green. Of course, he's pulling less speed because he's got more wing on. Then he's braking a lot later in through Beckett.
He's the black one.
You are the black one.
Yeah, okay. I'm braking later. Yeah?
He's braking later.
Right.
We've got a car problem or a brain failure. So, a problem of driver confidence. He's coming to the garage, he's coming into the track, he's told us that the engine had no power. Fine. Michael wasn't out yet. We had no reason not to believe him because we didn't have any comparison. Nobody else was out in the time. Michael went out at the 22.8. He started looking at the numbers and he's slower in the corners, and the engine doesn't appear to have a problem. Now he's not gonna drive it. I mean, I bet that if you change the engine, as soon as you give him the excuse, carry on, he's going to carry on and be quicker again. And the fact that we're running a gurney flap or not is irrelevant.
You can demonstrate that to me, can't you?
Yes, I will.
and then I'm happy.
Right.
It's rare for one test to provide definitive answers. The Formula One car of today is too complex to allow for easy solutions. As far as McLaren's new engine is concerned, Giorgio thinks he knows what is required.
I cannot say that the engine has got more power or less power. I can say that the engine is different. I'm sure of one thing. We haven't worked long enough on it to establish the true limit of this one. I think there is a lot more to do.
Throughout the year, the program of testing goes on. The engine is just part of the package. As crucial to the car's performance are the technical devices McLaren has developed to improve the car's road holding, like the computer-controlled active suspension.
He's now idling at 4,000. I'm not going to send him out. We've had him.
But this season, a threat has hung over the team's use of advanced technology. Motor racing's governing body, FISA, thinks that Formula One has become too predictable. The front of the grid is too often dominated by the same few teams, because only they can afford the latest technology. FISA wants to cut down the cost and complexity of Formula One and make the competition more equal. But still, the announcement from its technical scrutineers in Montreal comes as a shock. at the Canadian Grand Prix, they suddenly decide that active suspension is against the rules. Ron Dennis detects a hidden agenda in the scrutineers' findings.
The governing body has quite clearly positioned itself to impose at every opportunity, every form of pressure to effectively achieve its goal, and that goal is to get Williams and McLaren to accept a banning of the technologies that they've developed and perfected.
FISA's council meets in July to rule on the decision. It's expected to support its scrutineers. But 3 teams have appealed. Operations Director Martin Whitmarsh is off to Paris to represent McLaren.
Obviously, an analogy is halfway through Wimbledon week, suddenly determining that the larger rackets that have been used for several years, have been seen, are well known and well documented, to suddenly decide that they're no longer legal and disqualify all of the participants who are using those larger rackets.
The Place de la Concorde is home to FISA's grand headquarters. Here, the appeals against the scrutineers' findings will be heard. If the council votes as predicted and bans active suspension, the 2 teams worst affected will be McLaren and Williams. Frank Williams, boss of the Williams team, has most to lose. His cars were specifically designed to use active suspension. They now lead the championship.
I have one also titled just a McLaren submission, which I'd like to show you. And if you're happy with it, we'll make a joint submission otherwise.
So today, the 2 arch rivals join forces to save the technology they've done so much to develop. After the hearing, FISA President Max Mosley confirms that from the German Grand Prix, active suspension will be banned.
We've probably been a bit slow in catching up on this. I'm ready to admit that, and we're going to change our procedures slightly so we're more up to date with what the teams are doing. But don't forget, the teams never come along and say, we're doing this for this reason. On the contrary, they try their very best to conceal what they're doing from everyone except their own people.
You can't imagine Wimbledon changing the rules halfway through the tournament. And what's your answer to that?
Well, it's very simple. You see, Wimbledon, you've got 2 bats and a ball and a net, and it really isn't that difficult. With us, the ball is something of enormous technical complexity. Just to describe the ball, equivalent to the Formula One car, you've got a thick book full of regulations, which even the teams don't always fully understand. It's a very, very difficult sport from that point of view. We do our best, and most of the problems disappear by mutual agreement, but they arise all the time, as you would expect in something so complicated.
Obviously, we weren't surprised. It was the outcome that we had expected. However, when you're confronted with the situation, you know the facts, you've given what you believe to be compelling evidence to support your case, then it's obviously very unsatisfying.
The judgment of Paris comes as unwelcome news to the designers and engineers in Woking.
I mean, it's not as if these cars have only appeared this year. I was involved with the Lotus in 82 and 83. We raced an active car in 83 in 2 races. I was involved with the Lotus in 1987, where we raced it all year. And we raced against Williams then, who had a similar car. And then here, over the last couple of years, I think it's very sad.
It's a shame that, you're throwing away 20, 30 years developing and making the Formula One. Maybe we have to change the name. Maybe it shouldn't be Formula One anymore. I think Formula One should be the pinnacle of the sport, and therefore all of this new technology should be found on the Formula One rather than in the road car.
I think active suspension is something that is technically very interesting, and I think it's a shame that we can't use it anymore. The majority of the teams have access to some system, and I don't think it's really excessively expensive compared to what the drivers are paid, for instance. So I think I can't really see on what grounds people are objecting to it so much.
Clutch move, because the clutch move comes from there. So if we remove those 2, fit the flush and blocks, those we leave on.
Put the lift valve on there.
Yeah, the lift valve.
In Formula One, though, there's little time for sentiment. Now the immediate task is to work out what needs to be done to the cars, and then find out if they're still competitive without their active suspension.
The clutch valve you can leave on there because it takes its supply from there.
You have to take it off to get at them anyway, basically.
There's not a lot of time left. The FISA decision has come through just a week before the start of the German Grand Prix. There are just 4 days before the transporters have to leave for Hockenheim. 4 days to overcome this latest and unexpected technical problem.
The only purpose of the meeting was to make sure, it's for my benefit more than your benefit, to make sure we're all on the same wavelength. I feel that it would be worthwhile trying to run on Monday at Silverstone in a passive configuration to try and quantify what would really happen in the event that we wanted to run as an option passive in Hockenheim. If, for example, we're 5 seconds a lap slower in Silverstone, then it's going to be a completely different strategy to what we may consider to do in Hockenheim if it's 3/10.
Watch this space, like they said, so, yeah. All right, talk to you next week. Thank you. Bye.
Joe Ramirez moves into action to sort out the logistics of this emergency test program. This includes tracking down Ayrton Senna.
Have to find somewhere where we can test very quick and evaluate the car in, I guess, both passive and active suspension. Silverstone, which it wasn't available, we managed to convince them to have a day for us, and now they have made available the Monday. So we're going to test it on the Monday with one of the race cars that we have here to see what we find. So we have to find out organized tires and fuel, etc., and a driver and so on. Good afternoon. Can I have racing division, please? Thank you.
Did you try Senna?
Yes, it's. I left a message in Portugal. It's left Monaco. Was no answer. I called Portugal and left a message to call you or me as soon as he gets in.
Yeah.
So Kozlov is under control, the fuel is under control, the tires are under control as well.
Yeah.
Whole set of tires.
Yeah, they're being mounted tomorrow.
Okay.
Fuel, I don't know what Joe's finally come
Yes,
up
we've
with.
got 33.
Benetton are going to be there in the morning.
Running passive as well.
With Cortovs. David Cortov.
Okay.
I don't know what that is, but they've got a car at Rickard, don't forget.
Okay, no problem.
Giorgio will be in charge of the test.
Anything else?
I don't know. Oh, your gear, your clothing.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, you see Stuart.
The people who have never been able to perfect active ride are smiling at the moment, but because they think they've made life easier for themselves. But those are the people who couldn't win if you gave them an army of technicians and many more millions of dollars than we have available. In these circumstances, aren't going to change anything. You know, the people that are the best to still win.
2 days later. It's testing time for the old suspension. For the moment, the new technology is sidelined. Springs are here again. And so is Ayrton Senna, who's flown in this morning from Lisbon.
Got nice and early this morning?
I was very, very early this morning. Very, because I was in Portugal. So, 30 degrees.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
So, to get me over here on a Monday, that early in the morning.
Giorgio is relaxed about the loss of his computer-controlled suspension.
Oh, I'm back in my natural habitat.
After 10 years of doing the job without computers, I had a break of 8 months and I'm back without computers. It's okay. About as quick as this car has ever been in passive trip.
Ayrton Senna is also taking the possible end of active suspension in his stride.
It's just different. You have to get your mind back together again to work in the old way. It takes some time. It takes patience. It's like you're working with a new car again, and you need time to get on with it and learn about its characteristics and how to attack it to make it better in different ways. You know, in the low speed here, at the complex, you have a lot more rear end in the car. And front end, I have much more grip. I don't know if it's the same. Good grip. As I position the car into the apex, then I'm no longer going like this or like that. I have a car is straight, I can go full throttle, lift and go the next one. It doesn't push so much the front as usually it did. It's not too bad.
Well, it's early days yet, but so far it's not been as bad as I thought. And reasonably encouraged, I guess.
So once again, testing has uncovered some surprising results.
It is about that. It's between 1 second and 2 seconds slower, which is not a great deal, I think. The other thing is, in actual fact, I think that we discovered something which was implied in which we wouldn't have seen and found if we were following our normal route, which is interesting, I'd say.
In the event, active suspension has a last-minute reprieve, and its use is allowed until the end of the season. And so, come rain or shine, the testing program plays a vital part in McLaren's Formula One challenge. This year, the test team gets used to the roar of a new 12-cylinder engine from Lamborghini, as they put it through its paces in a specially built, unliveried car. They find an extra half-second a lap with new power brakes. And by the season's end, they've tried out nearly 100 different versions of the car's computer software. It pays off. Ayrton Senna ends the season by winning the Grand Prix in Japan and Australia, bringing McLaren a total of 5 victories and a world record 104 wins. For the team, this commitment to technical development is the name of the Formula One game. They can take a ban or two in their stride. But they'd be happier if people didn't keep changing the rules.
The competition in Formula One is not just the drivers. It's about a team against another team. The driver is the leading edge of that team. And behind him, here we've got the 300 people working to give that driver the best that we can do. And therefore, we as individuals compete against our respective individuals in other teams. So I'm competing and Giorgio is competing against equal engineers in Williams or at Ferrari or Benetton. And that aspect for us is important.
Yeah? Okay, pressure on.
By our efforts, if you like, and by the efforts of our counterparts in other teams, we have raised the technology level, the game, and aspects of the competition to where we are today, which has now been wiped out. The reality of the situation is we will not weep for too long. In other words, come tomorrow we'll be, or come the end of the day, we'll be competing again against the same guys to do a better job at whatever the rules will allow us to do.
Aiming to be the most successful in Formula One history, the team returns next Friday at the earlier time of 8 o'clock.